see me in the street and they call me a
legend.
I'm a line that
Legend.
sky that
Legend.
Okay. As everyone can see, it's only me in the studio today. And, you know, today is episode 5 of the 23% podcast. First of all, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's been subscribing, liking, following the Instagram, as well as the TikTok movement. Do you know what it is? I feel like I'm not able to express how much I appreciate everyone supporting me. You know, this has been something for, I think, podcasting, not even podcasting, I think content creating, let's call it that, putting myself out there has been something that I've struggled with for time, you know, to be, I don't know if this is close enough, but it's been something that I've struggled with for time, you know, putting myself out there. I don't want to say, actually no, I will say it's probably confidence. Confidence is probably my biggest enemy. I feel like confidence and caring about what others think, and something I've been told by many people who are within this content creating, you know, industry, shall I say, is that that's the one thing that you need to dead off, you know, not thinking or caring about what other people say. So for me, this has been like a massive step for me, do you know what I mean? So to be able to put something that I've dreamed about and worked, I don't want to say I've worked hard, but I think I've worked hard enough to put myself out there to let people, I think I've tried, you know, there's therefore room for improvement on how I could kind of put the podcast out there that there's a new boy in the block, you know what I mean? But no, yeah, I've definitely sat and thought, okay, there's so many different ways and different elements that I can, you know, put myself out there. And for me, it's like, bro, if you want to go and get it, go get it. And that's something I tell myself every day, even though I can see myself probably struggling to promote myself and put a lot of things out there. Bro, there's a lot of struggle in this whole thing as a whole. Even coming here, sitting on this couch by myself, doing this podcast myself, normally I kind of, do you know what's so funny? At first, I seen it and I thought, okay, I'm going to be a one-man podcast. How can I possibly get people to engage and watch? Do I need to now start messaging content creators I've never spoken to before, by the way? Probably never even liked any of their content, and trying to shout them to come on a podcast, you know, trying to do it big. I think a lot of things that, no, let me catch my word. I think it's more of the, what's this word? Hey, I'm too hard on myself. I think that's what the word, that's what I've been looking for. I'm too hard on myself. I feel like every time I post something, oh my God, it's got to be on 100 likes, or it's got to be on da-da-da-da, it's got to be on da-da-da. And then I think it got to a point where I realized that, slow down, you know, not everyone, you're not going to blow overnight. You know what I mean? There's people out there that I've only started seeing the progress after like 3-4 years. And little old me's only been doing this for like a couple months, properly, should I say. You know, I told everyone I had a podcast in my first year of uni, but I don't really call that, no, that is a podcast. You know, I'm not even going to dim my light. I will call it a podcast. I feel like it's more of a stepping stone, you know, for me to actually even, put myself out there. And, you know, the world's scary, you know, especially when it comes to podcasts. And I think that's another thing that scares me. I don't want people to look at my podcast and see it as, oh, he's started a podcast to bash women, or like to talk on things that just don't need to be spoken about. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, this is a journey for me, you know what I mean? It's a marathon, not a sprint, you know. Inshallah, God willing, this goes somewhere further. And also, it betters me as a person, do you know what I mean? I feel like we all want things to help and better ourselves. And I think that's something that I'm trying to work towards doing. So, yeah, man, once again, I appreciate everyone for subscribing. I appreciate everyone for liking, sharing it on TikTok. And, yeah, man, join me on this marathon. It's not a sprint. Yeah. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I am OB. I am your host of the podcast today, the 23% podcast show. Woohoo! But yeah, man, it's only me today in the studio, and I kind of just thought, let me do this on my ones and kind of just give everyone a little introspective. I don't know if that that's even a word. I don't know if that's even how this video is gonna turn out. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that make sure you're subscribing, following the socials, the 23% podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and do I look like a clown with this on my head like this? No, I look alright. But yeah, man. But life after uni, I think. Went to uni for like 3 years. It was kind of funny. Let me actually even tell you the story of how uni actually even, where I went to even came about. So actually, at first, I didn't really want to go to uni. I think education for me has always been, I don't want to say something that I've never liked or something I've never enjoyed, because who would I to be saying such a thing, you know? Parents have struggled to get to a better place for themselves, for me to turn around and say education isn't for me. But at the same time, it's like, that's how you find yourself as a young person. You do things and you realize, okay, this isn't for me. This isn't where I can show the other things can do. But anyway, I think year 7 is probably when, you know, when you get to year 7 and you've got that feeling like, right, like, okay, I'm in secondary school now. I get to wear a blazer. I get to wear a tie. It's almost like there's this new level of authority after leaving year 6. You know, when you're in year 6 and they make you sit down on the floor in assembly. Obviously, we never had to. You know, certain man's school did. St. Luke's, but they didn't have money for that. But us, man, of course, sit on the benches. And now it's like, being a year 7, you're kind of among the older society. You think you know it all, but you don't. But you're just in year 7. But obviously, ain't no one going to tell a year 7, you can't do this, can't. No, tell a lie. People can tell you what to do, but it's like more of a thing where I don't know, you just feel grown. You just start acting like you're bad. And that's what a lot of us in year 7 were doing, just sitting there acting like we're bad. But I got shown a couple times, you ain't bad, boy. And that's by my parents. They showed me that you're not bad. But from year 7 to year 9, I think I was just excluded a lot. Just being stupid, not trying to do my homework, being rude. And I feel like at that time, being in year 7 and also being one of the tallest guys in your year, you kind of feel as if like you need to put up this front of being brave, or like don't let anyone take the piss out of you. And that's probably what got me into trouble a lot of times in year 7. Funny enough, I remember when I was in year 7 and I was in a canteen, and this year 10, till this day I really don't understand what provoked him to do what he did. But I don't know how it started, but I know I definitely had my own faults in it. We're in the canteen, and like I said, as year 7, you know, you think you're grown, you think you can manhandle everyone. And because I was quite tall, I genuinely thought, alright, cool, no one's fucking with me. I'm tall. I pack a punch. You know what I mean? I pack a punch if it really needs to get to it. And I think an occasion happened, and I think I called him a pussy. Or no, he called me a pussy. And like I said, being in year 7, thinking I'm grown, I've reacted to it. So I've gone over to him. You're calling me a pussy? Or I think, long story short now, I think he just clipped me. Even me now, I've stood a bit back. Me too. I'm gripping, and I've punched him one time. The teachers come. Oh my God, leave him, stop. Me, I didn't listen to stop, because I feel like, not even forget even being in year 7, yeah, as a man, to get banged in your face and not doing anything about it. Back then, do you know what? That's the wrong advice. If you know you're in a situation, to any of the young boys out there, if you know you're in a situation and feel like you've been violated, and you kind of know where it might go, because, bro, the young boys growing up now in this generation, they're a bit sick. Leave it alone. You ain't got to fight back. You ain't got to prove to no one that you're bad, you're this, you're that, because I feel like that's something that got me in trouble back then a lot in school. And then when you think about it, you look to your left, you look to your right. Hey, I've even looked the wrong way, but you get what I mean. You look to your left, you look to your right. There's no one there but you. You're in the IC. We have this thing called inclusion. I don't know what other schools call it. I was trying to do what others do. They call it IC unit, but we just had it called an exclusion center. That was it. Ended up being over there because I smacked the tray over the kid's head, and I punched him after they told me to let go. So that got me in trouble. And I think from then is when a reputation had started. You know, teachers then knew me for getting in trouble or allegedly starting fights for no reason, but that wasn't the case. I feel like I was picked on. And I feel like because I was the tallest in my year, whenever they check CCTV and an issue would happen, I'd be there. I may not play no part in it, but because I'm there, I'm a suspect, and teachers sometimes saw me as a leader. Now, it's a good thing that teachers see you as a leader, but it's a bad thing that they see you as a leader in that light. And that's not the type of mentality you want not hanging over your head, but that's not the type of person you want people to see you as. Because in secondary school, I promise you, teachers will make your life hell. And that's what they did from year 7 to year 9. So that's when I kind of just thought, right, education isn't for me, because I'm not in lessons too tough as well. I'm missing out on a lot of key things that would probably help me leading up to my GCSEs. But that's probably even my fault for being stupid and not actually realizing that, you actually need to fix up. You're going to eventually need all these things. So I don't even want to go through everything, but I just got excluded a lot. I got excluded 4 times in year 7, 3 in year 8, another 3 in year 9. And year 10, I think it was for little stupid things I didn't really think I should have been in there for anyway. But I think it then clicked in my head that, no, actually education is what you need. I think when teachers start to speak to you about leaving secondary school and the things you'll need, I then started to realize, okay, I'm missing out on a lot of these things. How do I then get back into all these things? So, when you just lose your track of thought, you just say something, it doesn't even make sense. I then said to myself, all right, cool, how can I make myself a better student? How can I make sure that the teachers kind of lay off me? Because my mom's getting called into school every single day. And for me, it's not a nice feeling. Your mum is literally taking time off her. And that's one thing that's something I'm even just realizing while sitting here now. When your mum is getting that phone call at work, oh, by the way, Mr. Da-da-da-da, your son is being excluded for doing so and so. I didn't really think about how that would affect my mum. She's having to leave work early just to come to school to come and get me, or she can't go to work like she normally does in the morning, and that's taking a chunk off her paycheck. But I'm not realizing these things. I'm being stupid and I'm being dumb, and I'm just thinking everyone's picking on me. I mean, the school did have some fault to an extent, but really and truly, who can you blame but yourself? And yeah, just if any of the youngers are listening, like, make sure you're listening to your parents. When your parents tell you when you're in school, if something is happening, walk away. Because me, I didn't want to walk away. I always wanted to be that guy that was there. And it didn't make any sense. It didn't give me any ratings. It didn't make me hard, etc., etc. When you get them good grades, then people, that's when everyone's gonna hurt. Yeah, my lawyer, what? So when I go to jail, what you're gonna, what I'm saying? You're gonna help me with the case and etc., etc. Excelling is what gets you the ratings, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't really care what anyone else thinks, but I just think that's true. I feel like I'm rambling a lot, but skip past a couple of years now. I'm in year 11, and I think after I got my GCSEs. That's when, if you watch the previous episode of Shelley, I was saying that in my GCSE exams, I was sleeping in every single exam. Any exam, you name it. The only exam I probably didn't fall asleep in was English, because I knew that was something I was good at. Everything else, I didn't bother try. And I therefore saw the consequences of not trying. It was bad, bro. Like, GCSEs, I didn't get as much as probably most people would probably think. I don't think I even got the average, if I'm being honest with you. And people might look at it and think, rah, you're dumb. I'm not dumb. It's just, it's my own decision that I decided to pour my time into other things that didn't really need to do. For example, even football. I got to a point, I knew I wasn't going to make it professionally by the time I got to year 9. And I still decided to invest in football more. Because obviously, growing up in the ends, not even just being young and black, being a young child as a whole, when you gain a love for a sport as passionate as football, you suddenly start to think, okay, I'm going to make it at the ends. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When those dreams don't come true, you kind of like, oh shit, I wish I did so and so. And I wish I actually focused a lot in school. I feel like this whole opening dialogue is for like any young person that actually watches this podcast and, take it from someone that didn't try their best. That's another thing. You see, if you're in school and you're a young person, please ask for help. Like, I'm being serious. Please ask for help. You don't actually realize how much that will actually help you. That's something that I struggled with a lot, asking for help. I feel like if I had asked for help, I probably would have got help from teachers from school. That's not me using it as an excuse, because I didn't ask for help. That's why I didn't do well. No, I was fucking around in school. again excluded, and that's the reasons why I didn't do as well as all my other peers were. But I don't really dwell on that too much because I feel like that wasn't the end of my life then, and it's not gonna be the end of it now. Do you know what I mean? I'm 21 now. That was when I was 15, 16 when I left the 11, and I'm 21 now. You do the math. I don't want to do it because I'm bad at it. You can guess what subject I failed. But yeah, no, being 21 now, of course, I kind of look back, and sometimes till today, when I have these conversations with my friends, I do say, wow, I wish that I did, focus in school, or I wish I asked for help more. I wish I seen others doing work and actually asking for help rather than thinking it's embarrassing. But yeah, again, it's like, I don't want to say I had this kind of persona, but you see, like when you're in secondary school, you kind of know that you're rated to an extent. There's guys out, man, no, I'm not fucking with him. And then, there's, all right, cool, he's not involved in anything, but I know he's cool people, so ratings as well, do you know what I mean? And that's what it was like. But obviously, ended up going to uni. No, sorry, I'm skipping from secondary to uni. College. College is when I went to go study health and social care. And if you know about health and social care, people always call that they call it a girls subject. What was it? I don't know what it was, but there used to be like a bad meaning behind women that did health and social care, which I didn't really understand, to be honest, because I'm sure a lot of them are nurses and doctors and midwives. So congratulations to you lot. I don't know what them man are thinking, what they were talking about, but I was part of them, man. But obviously I studied health and social care. I didn't even want to study health and social care. I wanted to study business. I did study business, sorry, I did. What did I do? Business studies, as a BTEC. But it's a subject that I failed in GCSE. So my mum sat me down and said, you're doing BTEC business studies, but you actually failed it as a GCSE. Doesn't make sense. When I realised as well, it didn't make sense to me. Left, done health and social care. And I think it was leading up for me to do social work, sorry. That's what it was, social work. So done my 2 years, and funny enough, I did very well. I got a D star, D star, D. So that's a A star, A star, A. If you translate that to A level, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. And then, from then, that's when I realized, all right, cool, I'm done with education. I don't want to do this again. I wanted to do an apprenticeship. Spoke with my mum about it. My mum kind of threw it off, told me, I don't really see that for you. Go to uni instead. So I said, all right, cool. If I go to uni, I'm not going anywhere. Keep me in London. And I don't know, something just overcame me and told me, all right, cool, go outside of London and experience uni there. And I'm not even going to say and lie to you. I think that was probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made. And that's another thing for any younger listeners actually listening. Bro, get at the ends. Especially if you know the ends you stay in isn't safe. And it's not that I'm saying it's not safe for you, but it's not safe as in general. A lot of the times back in the day, there was certain situation that you'd hear certain guys getting into outside of school. And then they'd come into school the next day like it's nothing. And you just look at them, it's like, rah, you're actually living a double life compared to me. So I think that's another piece of advice I'd give to the young people. If you know that your ends isn't a place that you need to be in, the environment that you're in isn't as great, leave. And that's what I did. I went to Leicester. And that opened up so many different doors for me. It opened up this. If we're being real, if I had stayed in London, I don't think this would be a thing. And I don't say this in a way to like make it seem as if like there was no way out for me. No, that's not the case. But it was a thing where it opened up my mind. It opened up a different person. I feel like going outside kind of allowed me to explore who I am. And that's not even in a bad way, in a good way, in a positive light. There were so many things I didn't realize that I was interested in. Poetry was one. Obviously, if you know about English GCSE, I don't know what you guys did out there, but some people might relate. We did English literature. I think it was war poems. That's what it was. So if you know about Remains, Kamikaze, some people are probably looking at the screen like, I know what you're talking about. So I think from then, that's when I kind of realized, oh, okay, I like poetry, but I didn't really think anything of it. Got to university, realized, wow, poetry is actually something. Poetry is an art. Of course, it's more than just. I think that's what music is. Music is basically poetry, but poetry is music just without the beats. You can add the beats into it, but it sounds better. Promise you it does. And I think writing poetry kind of opened up a different level of. It opened my inner chakra. Do you know what I mean? It opened up my inner chakra. Yeah, and I don't know, it's just something that I fell in love with doing. And I think I also realized that I'm actually a confident speaker. If I know what I'm talking about and I'm passionate for it, I can go on for days and days and days. Just like how I'm opening up this podcast now. Normally I do the games, etc., with the guests, but I feel like I want to be serious. I want people to understand who I am and who OB is, if that makes sense. But yeah, went to uni, and them 3 years for me were probably, I don't want to say that, no, it probably was the hardest. I think no one really talks about the level up from college, sixth form, and then going shooting off to secondary school. Now, bearing in mind, this is someone that's been living in Hackney for years. I don't think I've ever left like London as a whole. But if you ask, I was on roads back in the day when I was younger, so I didn't really get to see many other places. So all I knew was Hackney, my home, my secondary school, go play football. Even though that was in Chingford, but that was like twice in a week. And then back home, or my grandma's house, Hackney as well. So you can imagine what it's like from someone like me to move to another city completely on your own. But it was a great experience. It taught me many things. It taught me life skills. It taught me life lessons. It also showed me what friends are meant to be and who to stay away from. That's probably one of the biggest lessons that you ever learn. And that's probably another thing to anyone out there watching and you're in college or sixth form and you're about to go to secondary school. It's going to show you a lot of things. Don't be upset by it. Be happy that those things have found you, because I'll tell you now, it made me a much better person. And I'm thankful for it. Do you know what I mean? But hey, uni was something else, man. Uni, like, sometimes when I keep licking my lips. I didn't have Vaseline. My Vaseline, should I tell you what happened? I was at work and it fell underneath the ice machine. You know when it goes into under the abyss, you don't want to look for it. So I have to keep doing that. But uni for me, it was an absolute experience, bro. Like, there was so many things that I didn't even realize that I would go through, and so many things I didn't see. Like, I don't think I've seen that many crackheads. Actually, that's a lie. Hackney is number one, but I think Leicester is another place that they have. There's a guy called £1 Dan. He will come up to you and he'll ask you for £1. He has silver hair. The whole of Midlands has seen this guy. Every single year has seen this guy come and go. But no, Leicester was interesting. 2021 uni. Now, there's going to be some other people that are watching this camera. You see, if you were in, I say watching this camera, if you're watching, you know what I'm saying? Merlin 2021, I think that was our little shubs. If you went to uni and Leicester between the years of 2021, 2022, so first year, I know a couple people left after first year, but if you were there for that period of Tommy's Kitchen, then you'd understand the memories that have come out of that kitchen, the scandals. Yeah, some of you you know the scandals that I'm talking about. If I talk about it now, you're really even gonna. But that was a fun time for me. Also, I even then found love in first year. That's probably I don't want to call it the biggest mistake, but it's not one of the worst things you can do, but it's peak. Because you see, when you get your heart broken, in your first year of uni, it's hard. To recover from a heartbreak in your first year of uni is hard, especially when you thought about the whole world with them and now like that they're gone. It's like, how do you even live without them anymore? And that it's sad, man. But yeah, no, 2021 uni, it taught me a lot of things. I think that's probably the best uni period that. It's not even just Leicester, I think as a whole, all over the Midlands. If you went to uni, Notts, Coventry, Birms, Leicester, did I say Notts? I think I did. Yeah, that was probably the best period of uni around them times there. But obviously, I think after that, it kind of just died down. I think everyone kind of just realised that I don't know. I think the partying thing just got very boring for everyone. I think everyone kind of just got tired, and I think everyone had their own cliques. You know, like even me, I had my own clique at uni as well. You know, we used to go to Weatherspoons. Now that's the first time I ever got into. You know, I used to see Weatherspoons in my area, and I was like, bro, you will never catch me in a pub. Why, as a black man, am I in a pub? And I think it's some of these little things that kind of hold us back from getting certain experiences. I feel like when I first went, I was like, I don't know, we're the only black guys in here. We're not from Leicester. We're all from London, and we're just in a pub for the white people. But I promise you, it's probably the most funnest thing ever. I used to have one friend. We'd pay for our own food sometimes, but then sometimes she'd do it for us, and I won't lie, I'm very grateful because it opened up a different experience. And that's when a lot of people started to see. I think we were the ones that set the pace for going Weatherspoons. Sorry, I said it. Weatherspoons in Leicester, I feel like my friends that we started at. I'm not saying we were the first ones to, start going in uni, but I think in our year, our age group, we were the first ones that started to hit up Weatherspoons, and I think it became a thing that everyone else started going. But people might disagree with me, but I'm not capping really barrel, I'm not lying. But yeah, the Weatherspoons, that was a great experience. What other memories did I have in uni that a lot of others that are watching could relate? Homecoming. No. Non-stop party. That was in, so everyone that knows where Mo used to be, no, where Mo is now, sorry, that's where we had non-stop. And I think it was DJ SK's Motive. That was a Motive. I think that's when we kind of got that welcome to Leicester feeling. And then there was Homecoming. Homecoming till today, Homecoming 2021, I think that's probably the best event that I've been to in Leicester. One of the best. It's either that or Uncle Tio's 0 to 100 in the summer. I think that was even better because the fact that everyone we've kind of grew into being Leicesterians. I don't know if that's what you'd use to call a Leicester local, a Leicesterian, but yeah, we just became one of these. We were just outside every day. Like, there was times where even lectures, I wouldn't even go to lectures. I'll prioritize going out to party more than a lecture. I remember, let me tell you a lot of funny story. There was a time we went to one of our guys. He had his own event. Well, ex-guys, sorry, we don't talk no more. But we went to one of his parties and I got home very late. Don't worry, I wasn't outside on the street though. Like, I was somewhere, but I just, with a group of people, of course, but I think I just conked out there. And then I got home at like 7 a.m. in the morning. Fuck. Yeah, I got home at like 7 a.m. in the morning. And I told myself, I'm going to make this 10 a.m. lecture. So what I did was I got home, took off my party clothes. Yeah, guys are going to say, oh, you didn't even shower. Okay, cool. Went home, put on some clothes, and I put on my tracksuit. And then I put on my tracksuit I was going to wear to lecture the next morning, and I just jumped in bed. I just slept. I set an alarm for 9:30 so I can get up and go to lecture. Anyway, boom, I've slept now. I woke up, the alarms woke me up. You know that iPhone alarm? You know that repeated sound? I don't know what it is about that sound, but that sound is so jarring. But anyway, done that now. Sorry, the alarm's gone off, sorry. I woke up. Guys, I took the tracksuit off. I went to bed. I took the tracksuit off. I went back to bed. I wasn't going to get up for that. You see, if you're someone that's been to uni in Leicester in that 2021-22 season, you know about saying you're going to wake up to lecture, actually waking up for your lecture and actually not going. And I think that was just a repeated cycle that we all used to do. Some of us, I think some people are brave. I don't know how you lot did it. You know, you lot would go to lecture after a Motive. I don't know how you guys done it at all. But yeah, man. What other moments were there? I don't know. I think, ACS, boy. You see ACS, when you go to uni, yeah, ACS is not where it is anymore. I'll tell you that for free. I wonder if ACS still runs at my old uni. But I don't know if ACS has that actual ACS feeling. I think even then, we were probably the last ones that had it. And the reason why I say this is because I just feel like that year, or even, I forgot it was even COVID. So it even makes sense. I think that's why that year took off the way it did. Because of COVID, nobody was even allowed outside at all. So I think that's exactly why a lot of people behaved the way they behaved. And you know who you are. you know who you are, but I'm not gonna state any names. But yeah. But enough with the whole. But no, yeah, enough with the whole talking about 2021. Really and truly, it was actually a very good year. I just learnt so many things. Oh, I took part in Big Clash as well. Sorry, this episode I've been forgetting things and then saying dead it, then I'm bringing it back. I'm gonna do that a lot. That's actually me. Sorry, get used to it, guys. I'll get better at it though. But yeah, I took part in the Big Clash. Now, before coming to uni, the uni I was gonna go to was, I think it was Middlesex University or London Metropolitan. And I remember going on YouTube just to see if they had a Big Clash team. It turns out they didn't. So I just knew from then. Even ACS, I don't think the ACS is even active till this day. So that's when I realized, okay, this is gonna be dead for me. And then obviously now that I went to DMU, being a part of Big Clash, I felt like a star, you know. I feel like when you're a big fan, I feel like if for those of you that know what the Big Clash is and some of you that don't, Big Clash is basically a game show where you compete against another uni. So first you do like the auditions. They'll let you know that they're coming to your city. You sign up, do the audition. I don't know how many auditionees you're allowed to have, but it will be a decent number. And then they'll come to your city, set everything up, and you kind of just audition and basically dance and compete in games against other teams who are also contestants in front of a crowd. And that's what we did. And I think I stood out, probably why I got selected, because I can't dance for jack. I remember telling our team rep, Penny, that please, if I'm going to do this, I don't want to dance. I just want to play games because I know I'm good at playing games. Do you know what I mean? And that's me, the competitive in me. Sorry, the competitive person in me likes to win, you know, especially when it comes to games. And that's who I am, of course. So I enjoyed it. I think then I got tricked. So I actually got picked, but then I actually had to learn how to dance. And I actually enjoyed it, you know. It was actually a lot of memories. Until today, you know, I still talk to everyone on that team. So for me, like I said, that's just something else that's kind of opened up another door for me, because now, and I done Big Clash in my third year, but I did it as a team rep and also part of the TBC team. So I think even that as well, it even opened up a lot of doors for me as a whole. So that's what I'm saying. Even things like this, the person that introduced me to this was someone that I met during that time we were filming the Big Clash, funny enough, and here we are now. So I think it's all about networking. I feel like that was a network that just, I didn't know was going to happen, but I'm glad it actually did, because it's kind of allowed me to, you know, start something new. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Okay, now I'm actually done with uni. Of course, I'm done with uni now. I'm a graduate. I graduated with, no, I'm not going to say the grade. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in youth work and community development. And that itself was a mission. And that was very hard to actually get myself. I don't think people understand how hard it is to write a dissertation. It might not have been, I think it was 8K words. Now, some men are probably looking at me and thinking, bro, that's mad light. If you knew the numbers I had to do for mine. But for someone like me, remember I said I didn't really like education too much. I genuinely just thought the reason why, do you know what? I think, let me be honest, the reason why I genuinely thought that education just wasn't for me is because I didn't feel like I was smart enough. I didn't feel like I was smart as everyone else was. So it kind of made me feel like, all right, cool, education isn't for me then, because I'm not as smart as everyone else. But to anyone listening out there, that's the wrong mindset to have. You know, always believe that you can actually do it and believe that you can be successful. It's only kind of now I've started to believe in myself that, bro, I can actually be someone. And I wish I had that. I wish I had somebody tell me that when I was younger. You know, I could be successful. I could be this. I could be that, regardless of what happens to me. And I think because I didn't have that, I was kind of very low in self-esteem. And it's only now that I'm starting to build these things up. And I feel like if I had this self-esteem in me built up from time, there'd be a lot of things. I think I'd be unstoppable. I think I'm unstoppable now because I know I'm starting to see who I am and starting to see things I can do. But yeah, man, I graduated with a youth work degree and I haven't actually started working in my graduate job just yet. I think I need that break. I think everyone that has been at uni for 3 years can also see that I need a break. We all need a break, you know, 3 years of struggle. Not struggle, but like struggling. Bro, so a lot of people were doing overtime in the library, you know, sleeping. Bro, I know guys that were sleeping in first year in the library doing essays, bro. That's how you see that jump from, like I said, from A level to uni. It's not a joke. It's real. There's a couple of people that left after the first year and didn't come back because they realized it's not for them. And I salute them for that, because you also know yourself what you want to do for yourself, and you realize this is not for you. So I salute the guys that did that. But yeah, graduated with a youth work degree. I've said that about 3 times now. That's another thing about me. This is gonna be like a raw and uncut episode. You know, you're just gonna see who I really am. Do you know what I mean? I think the more I do this, the more I'm not gonna edit nothing out. I think the more I do this is the more it kind of shows the type of person that I am. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, graduated with a youth work degree again. Fucking hell. And I've been thinking about what I want to do, and I haven't really kind of gathered it out just yet. I don't know. I feel like I don't really want to rush anything, but as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that, bro, time is going quick. Things are going fast and things are moving fast, and I need to move fast as well. But then it's like I'm trying not to let that scare me. I'm only 21, turning 22 in about 3 weeks, and I feel old, bro. Like, I was in the shower today, and I was like, wait, I'm about to be telling people I'm 22, and even that, it feels old. But then imagine guys telling people that they're 30. They must feel like fossils, mate. But yeah, I just told myself, I'm gonna take my time. I'm not really gonna rush into it. If you ask me what would I like to do that degree, there's actually a lot that I would like to do. I think one, what's the time? I don't have a long time. I think the one thing that I would like to do is to help younger children. I mean like younger, the youth. I think I would like to be someone that's a leader in the community. Someone that can make a change within my community. Because one thing that I've realized a lot is that politicians and people within the government always seem to talk about wanting to make a change within certain, I don't know if you would call it a rural area. I don't know if that's what you'd call, I don't want to call it the ends. It's not, I don't want to call it the ends, but it would have the government always trying to put things into plan. And it's so funny enough because the 90s Baby Show even said this as well. When they went into some, I think they went to some talk, I don't know what it was, about knife crime, and they said if you look around, that everyone that was in that room, it wasn't, like, there was no one that you could, I'm trying to gather my words. We're gonna cut and we're gonna jump into that again. But as a youth worker, I think someone that's graduated with a youth work degree, I would like to help younger kids, the youth. I feel like whenever people in higher authority always seem to talk about wanting to help within the community, you realize that they're actually not speaking to anyone who is being affected by these things. And someone that's kind of grew up within that era, because I don't remember anyone that's spoken to me and said to me, oh, how can we make your community better? I feel like these guys kind of have these conversations within themselves, within their peers. Not really. And the funny, you find it that not a lot of these people that are having these conversations, they're not even born in this era. They're not even born in any of like the places in like South London, East London. They're all Hertfordshire, Gloucestershire, all those little nice places where they don't really see a lot of things that we do. And like growing up, there's a lot of things that a lot of us have actually seen. And some of us would probably take back some of the things we've seen. And then, you have these people here coming to make changes that, these are the changes that we actually don't need. There's a lot of things that we do need that the younger children need. And we're not involved in those type of conversations. So I think if I was to become a youth worker, that's something I would like to, that's a barrier that I'd like to break down. I'd like to have a discussion with a lot of younger people. How can we make this place feel safer for you? What is it that we could do to possibly make you feel as if like you're at home? Gentrification's real. A lot of these places, they're not the same anymore. And people might say, oh, it's better for the community. But I think times are way better when things were just the way they were. There's a lot of places. I think South London's even a place now where that gentrification in South London, even Hackney, where I'm from, there's a lot of, everything's gone now. There's all these new builds. It doesn't make it seem like it's Hackney anymore. And that's not, I'm not saying that a change isn't good. A change is good, but I feel like when you have changes for the wrong reasons, it's for the interest of money rather than, the interest of everyone in the community, people that have been here way before you, and you kind of just take everything away from them. That's something that we really shouldn't be allowing to happen. So, as a youth worker, that's something, a barrier that I would like to break down. I'd say I just want to be able to give back to my community as well. I think that's another thing that I'd like to do, is to give back to my community. I feel like for someone to be able to give back to their community, I don't know, that's a lot. You got the likes of Stormzy. He's from Croydon, and he put so much into his community, not even just into his community, for young black people as a whole. And I feel like, for me, that's something that I would love to do, to give back to my community. Who knows, maybe when, this podcast blows up somewhere, sometime, somewhere, I'd be able to, teach younger kids who were like me. Like, I see a lot of when I talk to some young people, I see myself in them. Feeling that, I don't know what it is. It's just the lack of confidence within themselves, low self-esteem, feeling that they don't have enough to do what it takes, but all they need is that little push. And I feel like all I needed was that little push as well. I feel like if I got that little push, I think everything would have been great. Not great. I probably would have still had my, my trials and tribulations, but I feel like it would have put me in a better place than it did now. Do you know what I mean? That's something that I'd love to do, being a community leader, trying to make things right. It's not. I don't want to say it sounds moist. It doesn't sound moist. If you're someone that actually understands what I'm saying, then you'd kind of agree. There's a lot of things that need to change within our community. A lot of things, but I don't want to. I'm not no political activist before they get me down. That's not what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? I'm just here to share what I would love to do. Now that I've got this youth work degree. I think there was even one person that actually wanted to come on here and talk. Hopefully I could get him down. I literally just seen him say he's not coming to do no talks for free, but he actually used to coach me when I was younger. So sis, I don't know if this will magically appear on your For You page on TikTok or Instagram. I hope you see this. And yeah, man, come on, let's talk. Let's talk about how we could, make the community better. Young person with someone that's older that I kind of looked up to as well, growing up, playing football on the Saturdays. They take their time out their Saturdays to come play football with us. Not play football, so they actually train us. And I think there was kind of like a purpose behind that, kind of keeping us occupied away from, on school days, after school, you don't really do much. That's when all the loitering and everything, that's where it all starts. If we're being honest with you, it all starts. Alhamdulillah, I didn't go the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? But for someone like him him and his brothers actually, to take time out of their weekend to come down and play ball with us and help us, it's amazing. It's something that I feel like a lot of people should be looking at ways to help. Yeah, I'm rambling now. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm ready to move on. But yeah, man, off to a little brighter note. On my notes, I was actually, if you remember Disney Channel, when I say do you remember Disney Channel, it sounds like it's such a far way. Obviously, we've got Disney online now, but peak Disney Channel times. So obviously, I've decided that I wanted to come up with my own top 5 Disney Channel TV shows. Now, this isn't in any particular order, so it's not even from like 1 to 5, but this is generally just something that I kind of just, looked at my top 5. And yeah, man, so the top 5 goes as, so the first one, it's not in particular order, but I'm just doing 1 to 5. So the first one would be That's So Raven at number 1. Like when you That's So Raven, yeah. So imagine growing up in Hackney and you can just do, and you can see what's happening in the future, and then you have the ability to stop it from happening. So I'd say That's So Raven, definitely up there in the top 5. Second would be Wizards of Waverly Place. Now, as mad, what it is? I know for a fact there's a lot of you guys at home that are African or even Caribbean. Your parents didn't let you watch Wizards of Waverly Place because they really thought they were promoting witchcraft. It's all AI, don't worry. It's even AI, whatever it was. But Wizard of Waverly Place would definitely be up there. The The third would be Phineas and Ferb. But apparently I'm hearing that. So Ferb is the one with orange hair, I think. No. Phineas is the one with orange hair. Apparently Ferb is dead. Ferb actually isn't even meant to be there. Apparently he just my man's imagination. And then his sister, when his sister clocks what he's doing, apparently, I don't know. If you go and do the research, that's what they're telling me though. They're saying that apparently that Phineas is actually not a real person. He's actually dead. I don't know if I've even confused the two guys. But anyway, moving on. Fourth, we've got Corey in the house. Yeah, man. Corey in the house is most definitely up there. I don't think a lot of people watched Corey in the house. But I think Corey in the house is definitely up there. And last but not least, we got Kim Possible. Kim Possible, I can't lie, that's a goated TV show. Kim Possible is most definitely a goated TV show. I feel like growing up watching Kim Possible, I don't know, she was bad. What? I'm even just like Kim Possible now. Oh my God. I've got the black on. This is not green. I don't know if you can see from the camera, but it's not green, but it's the shade. Then I've got the trainers on as well to go with. Tell me I'm not matching. Kim Possible. But yeah, that's my top 5. So I don't know. I want everyone to let me know what their top 5 is. Disney Channel. I don't know. Today wasn't really. I don't really want to say that today really wasn't an episode, but it really wasn't. I think for me, it was kind of just it's a raw uncut episode, to see who I actually am, bro. You know what I'm saying? You see, with this whole podcast thing, it's like I don't think I'm where I need to be at just yet anyway. And I think a lot of you could probably tell I'm not. There's still a lot of things that I need to, get better in doing. When I realize I repeat myself a lot when I'm on here. And I don't think it's a thing where I don't know what I'm talking about. It's more of the fear of getting stuck in front of the camera and not knowing what to say. Hence why you would hear me repeat the same thing a lot. And I need to almost overcome that, get rid of that. But there's no one watching me here. But obviously, because I know where this is going to go, it gets harder for me to kind of just, talk on the screen. See what I'm saying? I've done it again on the screen, talk on the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 23% podcast. I've been your host, OB. Yeah, man, thank you for tuning in. I'm tired, bruv.
Street and they call me a legend.